dragon approaches. How much more must we bear, Stendar? Now dragons threaten us?
Excuse me. If I may be so bold, you match the description I was given? I have a message for you, if you're willing to accept it. More like a summons, really. Comes from Abner Tharn, who once advised Emperor Varen of Cyrodiil. He wants to see you in Riverhold in northern Elsweyr. Said it involves the Khajiit Defense Force and a rage of dragons, if you can believe it.
Apologies, Walker, but this show is postponed for now. If you purchased a ticket, this one will gladly refund your gold. Oh, forgive Tahara. Her worry gets the better of her. One of my menagerie's most terrifying beasts escaped from its cage. I turned my back for only a moment to speak to an onlooker, you see, and wow! The monster burst free! Oh, a vicious beast with ravening jaws and beady black eyes. The Brett and Tahara bought it from called the creature Bertel. But do not let its silly name fool you. You seem capable. If you find Bertel, I will gladly share some of my profits with you. This one is humbled by your generosity, Walker. She will see you fully compensated for the danger of this task. Of course, Tahara will answer what she can. I warn you, though, you may learn more than you'd like. Tales of Bertel can rattle your very soul. Yes, of course. It stalks on 4 clawed feet, standing as high at the shoulder as Tahara is at her waist. Its fur is blood-burnished gold, and its floppy ears dangle like curtains at the cheek, framing a muzzle filled with yellow teeth. Yes! Oh, Walker, you will never meet a more fearsome creature. To think the noble wolf bred into such a compact frame of death and horror. In the Khajiit tongue, Ta'agra, the word for dog, means death. Can you believe that? Well, no. Dog just means dog. But still, you know what Tahara is telling you.
Oh, for the love of dog trimmings. All over my new sandals, too. Damn.
I don't think I'll ever be done.
My hero returns with the dread purple in tow. Surely the creature is under some powerful spell. Your magics astound even me. Ah, indeed you do. The Gorger of Glenumbra captured once more. Its bestial intellect swayed by the promise of grisly table scraps. This fool, could you work with me here? It's part of the mystique. Just take your gold and that's astounded, all right? The Gorger of Glenumbra returns! Feast your eyes upon his rippling musculature before he regains his appetite and feasts upon us all!
Do you think it's safe to keep such creatures in the middle of town? If that dog escapes again, who knows what it will do?
end the dragon infestation, Chimera?
Ever the voice of reason, Speaker. Ah, here comes someone who can help us now. Ah, Vestige. How good of you to attend me. As I was saying to Lord Gareshri and Chimera, competent help remains at a premium in this remote province, which is why I sent for you. We must once more join forces to save Elsweyr from a rage of dragons. So much better than flock or herd, don't you think? The Khajiit Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons, especially since they were fighting to liberate Rimmon when the huge beasts arrived. Stay focused. We'll deal with that later. Right now, we must assist the Defense Force. Rendezvous with us at their command post. On your way, however, I have another task for you. I detected a series of power surges that I want you to investigate. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. They reminded me of an old acquaintance. Has a way with portals. If it is him, I want you to secure his help against the dragons. Around? Someone needed to check on Cyrodiil and try to hold the pieces together. With the central government disbanded and the imperial city a smoking ruin, any semblance of order has gone the way of the Dwemer. The people deserve better. Between the imbecilic Three Banners War and the constant rise and fall of some new warlord or bandit chief, there was more to deal with than even I imagined. Even so, I was able to make some small difference. Without a legion to command, my options were severely limited. The best I could manage was to liberate a few small villages and lead the refugees to a safe haven. Hence my desire to end this pathetic war and restore order to the Empire. You think so, Vestige? Perhaps you don't know me half as well as you think. I am Imperial through and through, never forget that. My people matter to me, as does our culture, our heritage, and our future. How should I put this so that you fully understand? None of your business. The Amulet of Kings represents the highest office in the Empire, and I refuse to allow it to become lost or stolen again. I expect nothing but your continued assistance, Vestige. However, I concede that your aid in recovering the relic was vital, so I assure you that it is perfectly safe. Safer than it has ever been. All right. No need to pester. Once you started your merry parade of divinely inspired destruction, I formed a contingency. In case you failed, we would need the amulet to try again with another would-be hero. Good thing you didn't fail. Safer than it was. You think I'd do what Sai Sahan did and just bring it right back to Sancre Tor? Please. Whatever you think of me, you should at least know I'm not stupid. As you can imagine, the companions were none too pleased with me after everything that transpired. I've made no effort to reach out to the survivors, nor they to me. It's just as well. That chapter of our lives ended at heart's grief.
Another outsider comes to Elsweyr, as if we did not have enough problems between Abnor Tarn and the dragons. Ah, do not mind me. Great beasts rampaging through my homeland tends to put me in a foul mood. I am Chimera. I assist the Speaker of the Main and serve as his agent. With both the usurper queen and the dragons ravaging northern Elsweyr, there is much for me to do. Too much, I fear. But I will persevere. What can I tell you that you cannot guess? That these fearsome creatures of legend have returned to threaten Elsweyr? That much is obvious. Damn it. This is all Abner Tharn's fault. Dark Moons, take him! That arrogant Imperial! For an advisor to emperors and a renowned battle mage, he demonstrates a disturbing lack of caution. It was Abner Tarn who entered the halls of Colossus and released the dragons. He says that was not his intention, but... What do my beliefs matter? Dragons have come to Elsweyr, destroying everything I hold dear. As the Moon Singers say, the path to oblivion is paved in good intentions. So, damn Abner Tharn. Damn him for unleashing this terror upon us.
You're responding to Abner Tharn's letter, one of the promising adventurers. I hope you can help us. But where are my manners? Welcome to Riverhold and the province of Northern Elsweyr, also known as Anequina. I am the Speaker of the Main. No, matters in other parts of Elsweyr occupy the Main right now. That is why I am here. I originally arrived to take charge of the Northern Elsweyr Defense Force. Efforts to expel the usurper Euraxia Tharn were well underway when the dragons appeared. A few years ago, Abner Tharn's half-sister conquered Rimin and parts of northern Elsweyr. We recently liberated Riverhold and were about to do the same for Rimin when the dragons spread across the land. It's almost as if they came to her aid. Talk to Abner Tharn. He has agreed to serve as my advisor, a role he knows well from his years standing beside the Ruby Throne. His strategies and tactics for use against the dragons sound outrageous, but he knows what he is doing.
blase. Never touch a Daedric monster, especially a dead one.
Don't be such a nervous netch. The dead can't hurt us. But where do you think it came from?
It stinks of Cold Harbor. Perhaps one of the Usurper Queen's lackeys summoned it, yes? What a stench! That's the stink of Cold Harbor, Walker. How such a fearsome and dangerous creature ended up dead beneath our favorite rocky outcropping, this one does not wish to speculate. Only an extremely powerful mage could summon such a monster.
Don't touch the dead thing, Theduna tells me. Like I don't know how to handle a Daedric corpse. I wonder what killed it, though. Maybe it ran afoul of a dragon.
I saw you, traveler. Why do all outsiders insist on acting suspiciously? I watched you go from location to location, just like the man with the pot on his head. Are you one of the soldiers intent on digging up every plot of land? Or are you simply a deviant who enjoys skulking and slinking through the wilderness? Oh, do not play innocent with me, stranger. You must be working with that pale, gaunt fool with the ridiculous mustache. Why else would you be visiting the same places that he did? Unless... Are you an agent of the Usurper Queen? Euraxia, the hated Imperial who conquered Rimmon and falsely claimed to be its queen. Do not feign ignorance, outsider. I had just about enough of that when I talked to the man with the pot on his head. You sound as confused as he was. Kept talking to his pet lizard bird like he expected it to answer. The last I saw, he headed east. I suppose you'll find him in that direction, and south of Riverhold. Just stop skulking around.
Uncanny. Looks just like the lovely place I dreamed of. Must be why my portals led me here. Eventually. Ah, hello there. Good to see you again, old chum. Have you come to pay your respects too? It was the strangest thing. I dreamed I was looking at this very gravestone. So here I came, and there it is, all solid and everything. Important? I have no idea. I suppose it must be. I saw it in a dream after all. Or was it a vision? I get those two confused. Anyway, I felt a sort of pull and stepped through a door, and then pish-posh, on as a bantam gras, and here I am. Tharn, you say, the grumpy battle mage. How is the old boy? The surges were probably just me. My portal took a few tries before we honed in on this exact location. Now, why don't you take a look at the gravestone and see what you make of it, Well, it took a few tries to find the exact spot I saw in my dream. A number of frightfully rude lads and lasses occupied the first location I visited, demanded my surrender, if you can imagine such a thing. Naturally, I gave them the old heave-ho. Foul-smelling, I'll have you know, that was my lunch. Can't believe I lost it. And if by bantam gras you mean my faithful steed, Honor, well, he's always getting into my foodstuffs. Has the appetite of a mammoth and the cunning of a fox, that one. Dispatch? Why would I do such a terrible thing? I adore those adorable pudge buckets. Alas, Grook was standing a little too close when I opened my portal. Poor thing fell in and took a nasty spill. When the neck bone snaps, it makes an awful sound. Were the words the same for you? Sometimes written language likes to confuse me. Words change and switch places. Very annoying. Anyway, the gravestone mentions the betrayer. Sounds like a dastardly chap. Wonder if I ever met him. I don't have the slightest idea. The words inscribed upon it conjure up all kinds of questions, though. Who is this betrayer? Whom did he betray? Why did they bury only his head? And where did they put the rest of the poor fellow? I don't have a clue. Dragons? I haven't battled a dragon since... You know, I can't remember, but I'm certain I fought one or two in my day. I was a gallant knight, after all. Of course I'll help. I'll just need to do a little more digging into this dream thing first. Did you hear that, my trusty shovel? Dragons and mysterious graves. It's just like old times.
Oh, now you show up. Left me to deal with a dragon all by myself. It's a good thing I'm Abner Tharn and not, well, some lesser mage. I discouraged it, but not before it laid waste to most of the camp. We arrived to find the outpost being overrun by undead. Then the dragon attacked. I did what I could. I fear it wasn't enough. What about the power surges? Did you learn anything? The betrayer. There's a betrayer mentioned in the legends of Kunzari. It seems those stories continue to hound me. No matter. We can deal with that later. Right now, I want to know about Cadwell. Has he agreed to lend us his support? That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter. I need to recover my strength. Driving off that dragon took a lot out of me. Why don't you go help Chimera while I keep watch in case the great beast returns? Kunzari, hero of the Merethic era. Most of the legends are unbelievable, though the Khajiiti moon singers guard the secret history. Their tales led me to the halls of Colossus. But let's save this for a less dangerous time. Tell me about Cadwell.
Damn us for arriving too late. I did not expect to find our militia under assault by a horde of undead. And then the dragon. Oh, it tangles the tail, Walker, it truly does. The militia was already depleted from the fight to liberate Riverhold, but we were determined to press on toward Riemann. Between the undead and the dragon, though, we can barely hold this portion of the outpost. Retreat is not an option. Not yet. Our resistance to Euraxia's rule requires more than just soldiers. There are intelligence reports, safe house locations, lists of supporters. Documents we cannot afford to lose. Search the ruined camp and locate the documents, Walker. They are vital to our efforts to free Rimond from Euraxia's rule. And if her forces acquire them, those who help us will be exposed. Recover the documents from mail sacks in the camp and get them to Captain Nalado. Then meet us to the south.
If you're so fascinated by the dead, why don't you join them? This one doesn't know you, but at least you aren't a walking corpse. This one must ask, why are you here? Bright moons! This one thought these were lost forever. You saved many lives at great risk to your own walker. You have Nalado's respect. This one will guard these documents with her life. That was one of Euroxia, the Usurper Queen's pet necromancer. His undead devastated our troops, so this one took pleasure in ending his existence. Now, Nalado must return to Riverhold to consult with Garashwi. We must find a way to go on. Euroxia's chief necromancer, Zumag Fum, has been with her for some time, but our intelligence suggests his followers have only recently rallied to her side. Find Abnortharn and Carmira. Tell them to meet us in Riverhold.
I've spotted dragons circling in the distance from time to time, but it doesn't look like the winged monster that attacked the camp will return today. Was your hunt successful? Did you recover the documents that Chimera sought? I must join them there. The Khajiiti forces have been decimated by this attack. It will take every strategy I can devise to help Garesh-Ri prevent the collapse of his militia. The appearance of so many undead, though, that concerns me. Yes, I read the reports. Zumog Fum and his necromancers working for my despicable half-sister. Such magic leaves behind a miasma of stench and decay. It leads to the mountains to the west, but I can't pinpoint an exact location. Good idea. Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without end. Better to deal with them now, before Euraxia's power becomes more than we can contain. In such a direct manner? Yes, as far as we know. It could have been coincidence, but the attack felt designed to hit us when it would do the most damage. I wanted to send Chimera with you to find the source, but I have no idea where she's gone. Find the source of this army of undead, and if you see Chimera, send her back to Riverhold. She's as reckless as she is capable, which is a dangerous combination. I'll make my way back as well. After all, Garesh-Ri would be lost without me. In case you haven't noticed, we two don't always see eye to eye. She can be impetuous and obstinate, truth be told. Chimera gathered a handful of soldiers and took off to the west. If you run into her, send her back to Riverhold.
What do you want?
I did not expect to see you in this desolate place, Walker. Did Captain Nalado send you? Or have you come to join us as we hunt the dragon that killed so many of our warriors? Then our missions coincide. We can work together to destroy the undead and slay the dragon. It will be glorious. When we finish with the hunting and the slaying, we can report our success to Lord Gareshri. I do not take orders from that old battle mage. Besides, the blood of Khajiiti warriors cries for vengeance. To disregard that cry, that is not a shame I can bear. No, I must do this. I must strike back and show my people that hope survives. The worthy life is full of risk, Walker. I assumed you knew that, given what you do. I will tell you a secret, though. Before my parents died, they gave me a pendant. As long as I wear it, Jode watches over me and provides his protection. To Jode, yes, but also to my family and heritage. I suppose you could call it an heirloom. It helps me in my role as agent for Lord Gareshri, and that is all I will say about it. Now, let us... With me! Stay close! We will hunt these necromancers down and end this dragon. The path splits here. We will go right. Walker, you stay left. Moons guide us.
Touch of lingering death!
Foul creatures! Cut them down! Claw! Destroy the necromancer!
No more excuses. No more delays. Double your output or your reanimated body will march at the head of Euraxia's forces. You dare challenge Mulamnir?
Dragonfire, move!
Little morsel, Mulamnir would talk to you. Look upon Mulamnir in despair, morsel. You have no chance against me, no chance at all. But Mulamnir can be merciful. Come, let us talk. Mulamnir wants you to understand the challenge before you. Our puppet, Euraxia, commands a legion of soldiers, an army of necromancers, and a horde of undead. Add my dragon brothers, and the hopelessness of your cause becomes obvious. You and Abnathon are insignificant, but even an infinitesimal flea can irritate after it crawls beneath the scales. I offer you one last chance to survive. If you and the battle mage leave Elsweyr, my brothers and I will not hunt you down. Then you will die, but not before we slaughter your friends and set fire to Elsweyr. Once we reduce this land to so much ash, only then will I tear you apart. So promises Mulamnir, whose claws have dealt 1,000 deaths. Leave Elsweyr, little morsel. Tell the battle mage, if I see you again, you will die.
Fiveclaw, are you all right? I heard what the dragon said. Perhaps my confidence was a bit misplaced. That creature was much bigger than it appeared when it flew over the camp. I never jump without first knowing where my feet will land. Also, I have very sharp claws. We lost so many today. The dragon, that Mulamnir, it has much to answer for. We defeated the necromancer and shut down one of their undead foundries. We need you and Tarn, despite my dislike of the man. But what the dragon intimated about Euraxia, it called her its puppet. I fear the dragons control the Rimmen throne now. Yes, you must do that. I will join you after I take care of the remains of my soldiers. They died bravely and deserve to receive the proper sacraments. Go to Riverhold. I will see you there.
Ah, there you are. Spare a moment for a chit-chat? If we've had this conversation already, then I wanted to thank you for the useful advice. But if I haven't seen you since our talk at that mysterious gravestone, which seems much more likely, then I could really use your help. Did I mention the dreams? Visions, really? They come and go without warning, like seeing through someone else's eyes. Quite disconcerting in an interesting sort of way. Anyway, my trusty shovel and I, we searched that entire grave, and it was gone. The betrayer's head, the dreams, the visions, they drew me there, but someone got to it before I did. I have the strangest sensation in the pit of my tummy. It could be the cobweb porridge I had for breakfast, or something bad is about to happen. Well, that's sort of like leaping from the cliffs of failure without a rope, or at least without tying the end off first. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake. Oh, Abner wants to see you. He's in the town hall with the cat general.
At this point, we need to come up with a plan that takes into account Euraxians, necromancers, and dragons. I proposed a few options, but Gareshri wasn't sold on any of them. Tell me, what of Chimera and the source of the undead? You paint a troubling picture, my friend. Still, we need to celebrate every victory we achieve. I fear such triumphs will be few and far between. Do you have anything else to report? My half-sister likes to think that she's in charge. She won't take kindly to being called a puppet. As for leaving Elsweyr, I think not. Obviously this Mulamnir fears us. Otherwise the dragon wouldn't have deigned to talk to you. Every conversation I have with Cadwell makes my head throb, but one mystery at a time, if you please. Now, if only I could get my half-sister to listen to reason and see that the dragons are using her. Apali? I may not like her, but we are family. Besides, it would give the Khajiit time to regroup. You're beginning to think like a Tharn, my friend. Here, take this. Gareshri gave it to me, but I refuse to accept payment for my services. A parley with Euraxia is a capital idea. I'll send word to Rimmon to expect us. I imagine my half-sister will treat us as befits my station and agree to the meeting. Attend to any other matters if you must, then see me when you're ready to leave. It just so happens I already have one. It involves distracting my half-sister with wit, charm, and words she barely comprehends. Oh, and you. Euraxia never could resist a pretty face. You'll pretend to be my bodyguard and personal valet. Consider it obfuscation to hide your true purpose. We don't want to give Euraxia a reason to react poorly to overtures of reconciliation. Not that I expect to reach an accord, but still. Meet me in Rimmon and we'll enter the palace together. Go on, go on. I'm capable of traveling to Rimmon on my own. We'll meet up at the city gates and go to the palace from there. I'm relatively certain Euraxia will honor the parley, but be prepared for anything. She's still a Tharn, after all. We're not very close, in case I haven't made that abundantly clear. Euraxia is an accomplished mage in her own right. My younger sibling has always been ambitious, but I didn't realize the extent of her aspirations until the Frostfall coup. About 6 years ago or so, while Emperor Varen was busy with his rebellion, Euraxia took advantage of the confusion to lead a column of Nibonese mercenaries into northern Elsweyr. She declared herself Queen of Rimmon and its adjacent fiefs. Of course not. The Khajiit call her the Usurper Queen, remember? Once Varen became Emperor, he had other problems to worry about. Same with Queen Irene. As long as the Alliance War occupies her forces, the Khajiit are on their own out here.
This one hates the idea of talking to the Usurper Queen. We should be stabbing her in the neck. Still, Nalado sees the necessity, even if she doesn't like it. Euraxia will almost certainly betray you, so be careful when you face her, yes? By marching into Elsweyr with a mercenary army and slaughtering our rightful Khajiiti rulers. Not only did the usurper slay our king and queen, she murdered the rest of the royal family. Her crimes, they swarm around her like flesh flies on dung.
A parley with the usurper queen. I doubt she'll agree to any sort of diplomatic solution. But it will buy us time to replenish our resources. Very well. Take Tharn and meet with Euraxia. In the meantime, we will rebuild what remains of the militia. She marched into Anequina with a mercenary army and conquered Rimmon. Her forces killed the royal family, and she illegally proclaimed herself queen. That makes her a usurper. I pray I live to see her pay for her crimes.